Now going ahead with the requirement of first mandatory committee that has been named as as an audit committee. I am going ahead with audit committee related provision. So when it comes to unlisted company has to comply with the requirement of just Companies Act 2013, but when it comes to listed company, along with complying the requirement of Companies Act 2013, they have to comply with the requirement of LODR, that is listing obligation and disclosure requirement regulation. So for unlisted company, only section 177 of the Companies Act 2013 need to be satisfied, but when it comes to listed entities, they have to satisfy the requirement of Companies Act as well as listing obligation and disclosure requirement regulation number 18. So first of all, we are going ahead with the requirement of Companies Act, then we will go ahead with the requirement of additional requirement of LODR. So as per Companies Act 2013, to constitute audit committee, it is mandatory to be constituted by the board, which is a common topic. A board can constitute it either through a board meeting or through resolution by circulation, but it requires board resolution. It is not necessary that it need to be constituted through duly convened board meeting. Now when it comes to minimum number of member in that committee, so there should be minimum 3 director in order to constitute a valid audit committee. Minimum 3 directors are required, and only directors can be member in committees that I have explained you earlier. Now the next thing is majority of the directors out of committee members should be independent director. Majority should be independent director in an audit committee. Now the next thing, it is mandatory to constitute audit committee by 4 different companies. It is mandatory for listed companies, point number 1. It is mandatory for all public company, not private company, okay, only public company if they are satisfying any of the following given condition, okay. Condition number 1, either their paid up share capital is rupees 10 crore or more in preceding year, either their turnover is 100 crore or more in preceding year, or their borrowings are more than 50 crore in previous year. If any one of the 3 given condition has been satisfied, they have to constitute audit committee. So audit committee is mandatory for listed entities. It is mandatory for unlisted public companies, not private company, if they are satisfying any one of the given condition: paid up share capital 10 crore or more, or a turnover of rupees 100 crore or more, or borrowing of rupees more than 50 crore. It is more than 50 crore. More than 50 crore in preceding financial year. If any one of the condition has been satisfied, they have to constitute audit committee, okay. Now the next thing, when they constitute the audit committee, it is their task or duty that almost majority of their members should be financially literate. Means they should have an experience, or they should have knowledge of reading and understanding the financial statement, okay, financial statement of the company. And majority के अलावा एक बात और बोल रहा है, that is even the chairperson should be financially literate. He should have financial literacy. They are having certain functions that we are going to read later on, but as of now मैं conclude करूँ तो Companies Act की section 177 is applicable on audit committee. Mandatory for 4 companies listed, public, 10 crore, 100 crore or more than 50 crore. Minimum 3 directors should be there. Only director can be member. Constituted by the board through board resolution, either in board meeting or RBC, resolution by circulation. Majority of directors should be independent director. A majority of members should be independent directors in the audit committee. नाम ही बता रहा है, when it comes to audit committee, audit is a crucial and a very important functions of committee, one of the very crucial and important function of the company. So definitely this audit committee would have a kind of involvement in all kind of crucial financial decisions or financial presentation of the company. So it is a kind of a very crucial body working inside the company. When it comes to its composition, there is one more requirement about the literacy of its member. Majority of members of this committee, along with chairperson of this committee, should be financially literate, and they are having 6 different areas where the committee has to work, that we are going to I am going to explain you later on. Now, when it comes to listed entity, along with complying the requirement of the given condition, they have to comply with the additional requirement or more stringent requirement of LODR, that is regulation 18. So, according to regulation 18, again listed entity must have to constitute audit committee with a minimum number of 3 members in the committee composition, but whereas in unlisted entity majority should be ID, here 2/3, that is 67% of its members should be independent directors. Okay, 67%. This is the additional requirement that a listed company has to satisfy, that is 2/3 of the number of members of such committee should be, you know what, independent director. Now, there are certain additional conditions. The chairman of such committee has to present in the annual general meeting of the listed entity, which is not there in Companies Act. Now, company secretary should be the secretary to this committee, that is not there in Companies Act. Chairman should be independent director. This is again an additional condition, that chairman can only be an independent director can only be the chairman in such committee. There is no minimum requirement of having a meeting of such committee in in Companies Act, but under LODR it has been clearly provided. It's just like board meeting provided under section 173, that a minimum 4 committee meeting is mandatory in 1 calendar year, audit committee say related, and the gap between 2 committee meetings should not be more than 120 days. More than 120 days means each quarter they have to arrange a audit committee's meeting, and the quorum for audit committee meeting would be 1/3 of the total number of members, or 2 members, whichever is higher. This is the first condition, and second condition is those directors who are present, out of them at least 2 should be independent director. तो quorum की 3 condition है. Condition number 1, the quorum present in the meeting can only be commenced once the quorum has been arrived. The quorum over here would be 1/3 of the total number of member, or 2, whichever is higher, and along with that minimum 2 independent directors should be present in the committee meeting, then only the quorum will be treated as satisfied. Now, there is one additional requirement, whereas for unlisted entities company law provides for having majority of members to be financially literate. Here all members should be financially literate for a listed entity, and one should be expert in finance. No. Now, when it comes to functions of audit committee, whereas unlisted company has provided for 6 different areas where the audit company has to perform their function. The functions of audit committee for listed entity has been provided in schedule 2 of LODR, that is schedule 2 of LODR, part C of the schedule 2 of LODR, and which is even further classified that list A and list B. List A के almost functions are same as provided under Companies Act. List B के functions are certain additional functions, that is mandatory review of certain documents by audit committee. Okay. Now, going ahead with functions, when it comes to functions of audit committee, they are performing functions in following areas. Area number 1 is about statutory audit and internal audit related functions. The second one is related with financial statement. The third one is related with inter-corporate loans and related party transaction. The fourth one is related with public issue related funds के utilization of the money received through public issue, and the next one is related with internal valuation, and the last one is related with vigil mechanism. So now I can give you a kind of a list. These are the areas where the audit committee has to work. But in these areas there are certain functions, like when it comes to auditors, so auditor ka appointment, reappointment, removal, performance evaluation, independence evaluation, remuneration, appointment ki terms and conditions. These all things need to be overlooked or overview by review by audit committee. When it comes to financial statement को बनाने की procedure, financial statements related preparation related policies, अगर company has changed the accounting policy in last year, उसके impact and all need to be reviewed by the audit committee. And I told you all crucial functions of management related with finance will be taken care of by the audit committee. So when it comes to related party transaction where the interest, personal interest is clashing with corporate interest, when it comes to utilization of public funds, when it comes to valuation for internal purposes, when it comes to fraud related intimation or communication channel known as whistleblower mechanism or vigil mechanism, these all things need to be taken care of by the audit committee. And for all these functions they are having a recommendatory role, they are having approval related role, they are having investigation right, even they are having right to take professional advice in the given matters. Okay. And when it comes to related party transactions, in related party transaction one more term is coming out while reading the BEAR Act, that is omnibus approval. So omnibus approval is nothing more than an approval granted by audit committee for related party transaction, where the validity of such approval can be based on period, not based on transaction. That is such approval by audit committee would be valid for a period of 1 year. So that is why it is known as omnibus approval. It is valid for 1 year. If the audit committee has granted omnibus approval for one particular related party, you can get into transaction with that related party without seeking approval of audit committee for a period of 1 year. Okay. So these are the functions that has been provided in Companies Act for audit committee. But when it comes to listed entity under LODR, I told you that has been provided in part C of schedule 2 of LODR. So according to that, part A is covering the same functions that I have explained you in Companies Act. Part B mein there are certain functions, certain documents that need to be mandatorily reviewed by the audit committee when it comes to listed entity, which includes management discussion and analysis report. Later on when I'll teach you about the accounts related chapter, section 128 to 138, जब हम Companies Act का पढ़ेंगे, then you will get to know about management discussion and analysis report. It is basically provided under LODR, listing obligation and disclosure requirement. But still it is a matlab when we correlate with Companies Act and LODR, so section 123 to 128 to 138 will be related with this provision. So MDAR related provision, मुझे प्रोफेशनल के लिए लगता है ये क्वेश्चन ये पूछ सकता है that what all document mandatorily required to be reviewed by audit committee. So that has been provided in part C of schedule 2 of LODR. The first one is MDAR, second one is all statement of all significant related party transaction. The third one is internal audit report. The fourth one is chief internal auditor के appointment related documents. The next one is statement of deviation in quarterly statement or annual statement of fund utilization. So these all are the statement that need to be mandatorily checked by audit committee for a listed entity. Done. So now our audit committee has been finished.